Welcome to a new segment called Offseason Review in Study Hall with Steven Alves. We're going to be looking over the next couple months to examine all 30 teams and what they were able to do in terms of roster building this offseason. I'm excited to go through this, and we're going to be looking at each team through each division, and that's how we're going to keep this pretty organized. So our first team we have is the Los Angeles Lakers. So the Lakers had what many fans would probably consider a not so successful season. They finished with their record being 37-45, and they did make the playoffs this year. The biggest thing that happened for the Lakers this year, a lot of people would say, would be LeBron getting hurt on Christmas, which caused him to miss 17 consecutive games. Before LeBron got hurt, the Lakers were 4th in the West, but when he came back, they were outside the playoff picture, and the remaining games that he played, they were 8-17, so they were never able to get that cohesiveness back, which really hurt them. So when we talk about strengths for the Lakers last season, defense was definitely one of them. They were 13th in defensive rating, which was above average, right? But it wasn't bad. Rebounding, they were amazing. 6th in the NBA in rebounds per game, and they were great at playing with pace, right? 4th in the league in possessions per game. Weaknesses were a different story, right? Offensive efficiency was terrible, 24th in offensive rating. Taking care of the ball, they were second to last, as well as shooting, right? 29th in the league in three-point percentage of 30 teams. Not great. And their bench was also really inefficient and not consistent. Their bench only scored 34.5 points per game, which was 23rd in the league, which was not great at all. So there's definitely areas of improvement for their team going forward. But I think that some of the roster changes that Rob Pelinka and the front office was able to make this year will definitely help to close some of those gaps. So now let's look at returners. We have Rajon Rondo, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Alex Caruso, LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, and JaVale McGee returning. LeBron James and Kyle Kuzma were both under contract going into this upcoming season, so they didn't choose to come back, but Rajon Rondo, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Alex Caruso, and JaVale McGee are all coming back by choice because they were all free agents. So it's definitely great to have guys coming back that have been around the culture of the organization because they know how things are supposed to get done. And Rajon Rondo and JaVale McGee are both NBA champions, so having that pedigree on your roster definitely helps if your goal is to win a championship going forward. And I think that they'll be great for all the new guys coming in to show them what it takes, especially going into playoff time if they're able to make it this year. So when we examine the new additions for the Los Angeles Lakers, we want to highlight Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was really the cornerstone that the Lakers built around during this offseason, and the front office did an amazing job of getting players that would complement his talents in the right way. So whether it was shooters, whether it was pick and roll ball handlers, or perimeter defenders, the Lakers did a great job of doing that. And even bringing in DeMarcus Cousins was really an underrated pickup because Cousins not only went to the same college as Davis in Kentucky, although at different times, but they also were teammates in New Orleans, and they have a great chemistry that the Lakers are really looking to use to their advantage this upcoming season. So now we're going to just let video play, and we're going to go through each of these guys and what they're going to be able to bring to the Lakers next year with their talents. Anthony Davis' specialty is he's just an all-NBA talent. He's arguably one of the best players in the league. And he's coming from the New Orleans Pelicans, so he's on a 2-year contract with $55.8 million left. He has a player option for next year, which he's expected to opt out of, so that way he can go and redo his contract. So there's no indication that he's going to for sure come back to the Lakers, but he said that he's open to coming back after his contract is up next year, if it's the right opportunity. So Anthony Davis is really good at handling the ball for someone his size. He has a 6'11" frame, and not many people of his height and his weight are able to go and do that, as you can see with that step back right there. Right, so it opens up the floor for his teammates and allows them to go do other things, just like LeBron's going to be able to do right in the wing. But if you look right here, it's when the floor is evenly spaced, he's able to go and take other bigs off the dribble like he did with Maxi Kleber. So he's also great at playing in the post. He has an array of post moves that really can help to his advantage, as you can see with that hook. But he also can take turnaround jumpers from the post, and he also can face up in the post. He's dangerous from all three areas of the court offensively, which really helps him out a lot. Davis is also a really good pick and roll player. He's great at reading space and knowing where to go in pick and roll situations, and using that frame like we talked about to finish over the top of defenders. Right, so he can read pockets, get to a spot, and finish. One of the most underrated aspects of Davis's game, though, definitely has to be his ability to knock down jumpers. You can see right here with this pick and pop, he's going to go back, hit that three. Davis is really good at spacing the floor, and offensively, I just don't know if there's anything that he can't do. It's just all about him staying consistently healthy throughout the season and being able to fulfill that piece as the centerpiece that the Los Angeles Lakers want to use him for over the next decade. So next we have Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley is known as being one of the most elite defensive perimeter players in the NBA. And he also has been known in the past to be a really good shooter, but what he's really improved on over the past couple of years is going to help him out a lot in LA is his pick and roll. Right? He's able to really facilitate the ball the right way. And I think that's why the Lakers gave him a 2-year, $9.7 million contract, because they really can use him with Anthony Davis and JaVale McGee and even DeMarcus Cousins in pick and roll situations. Avery Bradley, as a pick and roll ball handler, is one of the best role players in the league. He's a willing passer, and he's able to find his teammates in tough situations. But what really makes him special and separates him from a lot of other players in the league is he's able to read space and find open shots for himself out of pick and rolls. He is really good at making sure that when the defense stays attached to the roller, he's able to find space for himself. And playing with someone like Anthony Davis and even DeMarcus Cousins next year will really help him out a lot. He's going to be able to get some really open looks because the defense is going to want to stay attached to those two guys. So defensively, Avery Bradley's just a hound. He puts himself in situations that makes it easier for his teammates, but also tougher for the offensive players. Defensively, he plays with a great deal of patience, and he's able to always get in positions to get steals. He's really active, applies great pressure, and never takes a play off. And really that's what the Lakers are going to need next year, going up against tougher guards in the Western Conference like Russell Westbrook's and Mike Conley's, to be able to contend at the top of the Western Conference, which are more than capable of doing with the roster that they have this upcoming season. So next we're going to examine DeMarcus Cousins, who used to be an all-NBA talent. Unfortunately, prior to last season, he tore his Achilles. He used most of last year to rehab with the Golden State Warriors, but when he got to the playoffs, he tore his quad. So because of injury issues, contract-wise, he's been on lower-level one-year deals, and he's looking to use this year as a way to prove himself, as a way to show that next year going into free agency, he's going to be able to make an impact on a team and get the money that he worked really hard to get the first time. One of the most underrated aspects of DeMarcus Cousins' game is his playmaking. His passing ability is really adept for someone his size, and he's able to find teammates and is willing to set people up, which will really help him playing with two players of the caliber of LeBron James and Anthony Davis next season. Something DeMarcus is also really good at is bringing the ball up down the court after rebounding. This is going to allow for more opportunities for his teammates to go and get easier shots and will really help them out in transition next year. DeMarcus also is a really good floor spacer. He's able to knock down threes at a pretty good rate, and it's going to help to open up the floor next year for LeBron, which will make it easier for him to get to the basket by drawing away bigger defenders away from the basket because they'll have to contest on DeMarcus Cousins shots. The next new addition we want to go over is Quinn Cook. He's a point guard. He's an exceptional shooter. He's a good pick and roll player. And he used to play for the Golden State Warriors, which he won one championship with. The Lakers signed him to 2 years for $6 million. And this was one of, if not, their biggest bargain deal, in my opinion, over the entire summer. Quinn Cook's biggest strength, aside from shooting the ball, has to be his ability to read space in the defense. Cook, being a one-time NBA champion, knows what it takes and how to play the game the right way. He's played under Steph Curry with Steve Kerr, both exceptional shooters in their own right. And he really took what he was able to learn from them and applied it to his own game. And it was really translatable, and you could tell. He's able to really read defenses the right way and be able to find himself open shots. And for what the Lakers look like they wanted to do this offseason, he's going to be just another piece that's going to help spread the floor to make the middle wide open for LeBron James and Anthony Davis to be able to go to work at the rim or pass out to teammates for open shots. After LeBron James, Danny Green has the second most amount of championships on the Lakers roster. He's a shooter, he plays defense well, and he's a leader. He just most recently won a championship with the Toronto Raptors, and previously he won with the San Antonio Spurs. The Lakers signed him to a 2-year, $30 million contract to keep him in LA, and they're hoping that he's going to be able to bleed over his championship pedigree to the rest of the players on that roster to show them what it takes to win one. Green is here in LA to knock down shots at a high level from long range, just like so many other players on that Laker roster. He's able to spread the floor. He can hit shots from literally all over. He's proven he can do that at a high rate for his entire career. What makes him dangerous, though, is he's also able to take people off the dribble because you have to stay so close to him. As you can see Kemba here closing out and just finish for an easy shot. It's going to help him out a lot next year. Another big signing in terms of what the Lakers wanted to do this offseason for floor spacing was Troy Daniels. Troy Daniels is an undersized shooting guard. He's about 6'3", but he's able to knock down threes from everywhere with range, even contested. He's coming from the Phoenix Suns and signed a 1-year, $2.1 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. To the similar point of Quinn Cook, one of the most dangerous things a shooter can do in the NBA is be able to read the defense to read space. Daniels is great at doing that and finding an open shot to get an easy 3-off for himself. Right? And even if you're not a good shooter, which he's a great shooter, being able to do that and get yourself open looks is really going to help out not only you, but your teammates as well. And Daniels looks to be an integral piece to this year's Los Angeles Lakers squad. Yet another talented floor spacing veteran the Lakers added to their squad for next year is Jared Dudley. Jared Dudley is a power forward. His specialty is shooting the basketball, and he's coming from the Brooklyn Nets. He's on a 1-year, $2.6 million contract, and last season he was really able to help his career be revitalized a little bit by feeding off of the success those point guards had in Brooklyn, whether it was D'Angelo Russell or whether it was Spencer Dinwiddie. Jared Dudley was able to really find his way to helping out his team reach the playoffs, and the Lakers find that invaluable for next season. Aside from shooting the basketball, which is Jared Dudley's best quality, he's been in the league for 12 years. And with that time comes experience. Jared Dudley's been on good teams, Jared Dudley's been on bad teams, but most importantly, he knows what it takes to get out of certain situations. So no matter how the season goes, whether it's a good one or a bad one, Dudley's leadership is going to be key to helping these Lakers grow not only as players but as people. And he's going to find ways to make them better, no matter what arises this year. And for the Lakers, that has to be so invaluable for them moving forward. Last but not least, we have the rookie from Iowa State, Talen Horton-Tucker. Small forward, his specialty is shooting the basketball. Came from Iowa State. Horton-Tucker only shot 30% from 3 last year, which isn't great, but he took 4.5 attempts per game, which was almost half of his shot attempts, which to me was crazy. So he kind of reminds me a lot of PJ Tucker with his ability to find spots in the corner and get threes off. He's kind of undersized for the 4 like PJ Tucker is, but he has a long wingspan. He has a 7'1" wingspan even though he's just 6'4", and that should really help him in terms of making up for the height differential he's going to give up to most NBA players on most nights. At the end of each video, teams are going to get an off-season review grade. Off-season review grades are not only going to be based on this past summer's transactions, about how they use those transactions to set the team up for success moving forward in the future. Teams will not be given grades easily, good or bad, but with that being said, I feel like the Lakers get an A+ for this offseason. A lot of people might think it's because of Anthony Davis, and he's definitely part of it, being an all-NBA talent, perennial all-star, arguably a top 5 player in the NBA, and being the Lakers' real cornerstone post LeBron James if he chooses to re-sign here next year after he opts out of his contract. But the reason why I gave the Lakers the grade I gave them is because of depth. They were able to surround Davis and LeBron James with so many pieces that complement their skill set that to me it was just crazy, and it wasn't talked about as much as it should have been talked about over the past month. Between getting shooters, pick and roll ball handlers, defensive players, the Lakers really have it all this season in what to me is the scariest team they've had since 2010 with Kobe and Pau Gasol. I'm looking forward to see what they can do this upcoming season, as I really think they can be one of the top 4 teams in the Western Conference. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Offseason Review in Study Hall with Steven Alves. I look forward to doing all of these. Like I said, we're going to go by division, and we're going to cover all 30 teams over the next few months. So I look forward to covering more of these, and tell me what teams you guys want to see, which ones you guys are looking forward to. Make sure you follow on all social media, and I look forward to continuing this. Thanks.